If you feel like going exploring but don't want to fly halfway across the galaxy, then stay tuned because today I'm gonna give you 10 places you should visit that's within reach from the bubble. Today's video is brought to you by Game Glass. Game Glass allows you to take control of your ship from a tablet or phone. Not only that, but you also get on-screen information about your ship, your targets, and the world around you. So gone are the days where you have no more room for your key bindings, or you have to alt-tab out of the game to look up market data. On top of that, Game Glass also works with Star Citizens, so follow the link in the video description and try Game Glass for free. If you like it and want more shards and features, you can buy them individually, or you can subscribe to GlassPass. Use offer code DTEA on checkout and get 5% off your first purchase. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. Today we're going to go exploring and we're going to be visiting 10 places that you can visit that's either within or very close to the bubble. So if you don't feel like flying thousands of light years, then this video is for you. But before we start, I just want to give you a quick warning. If you like to go and explore and find things for yourself, there will of course be spoilers in this video. I'm going to go through them ordered by their distance from Sol, and we're going to start in Sol itself, our solar system. Here of course we are 0 light years from Sol since we are within the system itself. I should say that this system does require a permit, so you will need to increase your rank with the Federation in order to get access to this system. If you're not familiar with permits, there are some systems that are locked, and some of these locked systems you can gain access by getting good relations with factions that control the system. Once you get your Sol permit, I highly recommend that you swing by Earth and take a look at our little blue marble from on top. Also, while you're there, take a trip around the backside of the planet as well, since you can see the city lights at night. Of course, all the other planets are also available, so while you're there, head out to the moon and take a look at it as well. There are many other locations that I would recommend you visit, but when you are here, go out to Mars, because it's actually quite different in Elite than we have it in our solar system today. See, Mars in Elite has been terraformed and therefore looks vastly different than you might be used to. I do recommend you go out and you find the Voyager probes, the 2 probes sent up in the 70s with the gold LP with images and sound from Earth and a little gold plaque on the side. Next up we have Hutton Orbital. This is a station located in the Alpha Centauri systems, only 4.38 light years from Sol. This is a very well-known station amongst elite commanders because this is the furthest station from the main star. You actually have to travel over 6 million light seconds in order to reach the star, or well, 0.22 light years. This is a trip that can easily take over an hour and a half. Hutton Orbital is actually so liked by the elite community that a group of players has formed around the station called the Hutton Truckers. There's a few things available at the station that you can't get anywhere else in Elite. One thing is the Hutton Mug, which is a rare commodity you can buy only on that station and then fly around and sell to other stations. They actually had a project last year where they tried to get the Hutton Mug shipped to every single station in Elite. And the Hutton Mug is also available out of game, where you can actually go and buy a physical mug and get to have on your desk. And you may have heard rumors about the alleged free anaconda out at Hutton Orbital. And well, all I can say is that is something you have to check out for yourself. Next up on our little tour is Mitterand Hollow, a very fast orbiting moon. This moon is located in the Epsilon Indi system, 11.8 light years away from the Sol. Now when I said this is a fast orbiting moon, I mean we're talking orbiting time in seconds. This is a very, very fast moon. In fact, it orbits so fast around its parent planet that you cannot catch it by flying up to it in supercruise. You have to fly the opposite way around the planet and basically fly head on into it, without crashing of course, in order to catch the moon. Now it might seem weird why we would have a moon orbiting so fast, and in fact this is very, very much not the way you would expect a moon to orbit in real life. This was originally a mistake that this moon was orbiting too quickly, and it was actually at some point corrected so it had its correct orbit speed. But at that point, players have grown so attached to that little fast moon that the developers Frontier actually decided to reinstate it into its old orbit speed. So that's now one of the favorite tourist locations for players to go and visit. Next up we have the system Pareco, which is 81.16 light years from Sol. This system is quite special since it only has a single star and 5 stations. No planets, no moons, no anything, just a star and 5 stations. Furthermore, all of these stations are clumped together within like 1,000 kilometers. So they are orbiting really, really close to each other. That actually means you can fly from one station to the other without going into supercruise. So if you are going here, do bring a little fast racing ship. Talk more about that in a second. And then try to undock one station, boost as fast as you can between the station and dock at the next. It's quite weird, and it's not something we've seen anywhere else in Elite. Now when it comes to racing, there's a very famous spot that people like to visit. And that is the moon Pomeche 2c, located in the Pomeche system, which is 99.79 light years from Sol. This system, or this moon, is known for its very deep canyons. This is a beautiful place if you like to do some canyon racing. Here I can recommend you bring a Viper. It is pretty much the fastest ship in Elite, and the ship itself is dirt cheap. You can get it for only 95,000 credits. Now, if you do have to engineer it up to its full spec, so it really goes fast, you will have to spend a little bit extra on it, around 5.2 million for the equipment plus some engineering. But if you kit it out right, you can make this thing go well over 900 meters a second. Do pay attention to your rebuy, because if you're going around in a canyon at high speeds, there's a very high chance you're going to crash into a wall and it's going to send you to the rebuy screen. From deep canyons, we're going to move on to high mountains, and we're going to be visiting the Nervi 3A moon. This is, of course, in the Nervi system, 110.27 light years from Sol. This moon, again, has really high mountains. So not only is this a great view where you can really get up to the top and you can get a view of the mountain range with the curvature of the moon. And if you're going here, it's obviously going to be difficult to land at the top of the mountain. So if you do want to drive up there, you will have to land somewhere along the foot of the mountains, get out in your SRV and drive up to the top. This can be quite a challenge. It is good training if you want to get familiar with the SRV controls. And as someone who has a little bit of experience mountain climbing in SRVs, I can definitely tell you the feel of accomplishment once you reach the top is just something you have to try at some point in your Elite career. But don't be disheartened if you end up rolling down a mountain and exploding at the foot of a hill, potentially losing hours of progress. Moving further out, we get to Jackson's Lighthouse. Jackson's Lighthouse is the closest neutron star to Sol and is located in the Jackson's Lighthouse system, 174.01 light years from Sol. Be careful around neutron stars. You have these jet cones, and while you can fly into them, if you drop out of supercruise inside them, it's almost certain it's gonna be a write-off and your ship is gonna be lost. Since you can't really control your ship, it's gonna behave erratically. But if you want to practice supercharging your frameshift drive, which you can do if you fit a fuel scoop and you fly into the cone and you stay in the cone for long enough, your frameshift drive will be supercharged, increasing its jump range by 400%. So you can jump 4 times the distance as you could before. According to the lore, this system was, or the neutron star, was formed in the year 2672 by having 2 of the brown dwarfs in the system collide, forming a neutron star. So while this system doesn't exist in the real world, if we haven't discovered it yet, it would make sense since, well, today it would be just a system with brown dwarfs, which are hard to detect. But of course, in the year 3307, it would now be a bright, beautiful neutron star. Next up on the list is a very special planet called the Radioactive Green. This is a gas giant located in the cold 285 sector VY-MC8-1, and it is 299.55 light years away from Sol. This system is known for this very weird looking gas giant that has these almost like luminous green spots on it. It almost looks like it's glowing, and it just looks really, really weird. In the Elite lore, it is believed that these green luminance come from some kind of life form living on the gas giant that has some kind of natural bioluminescence. It's even in the Elite lore not really understood how this is formed. At the very least, it is a beautiful view, and if you feel like trying your hands at a little bit of a longer trip, then this is definitely recommended. And from neutron stars, we move on to something even heavier, and that is black holes. The closest black hole to the Sol system is located in the Maia system, the main system in the Pleiades sector. The Pleiades sector also being the closest nebula, so definitely worth a visit. And if you're down here, this is also a good place if you want to try your hands at Thargoid combat, since they are readily available in this area. The black hole itself is a bit of a supercruise ride away from the main star, but it's definitely worth the ride since looking at how it's warping the background stars is an amazing view. Now don't be afraid of the black holes. Black holes are actually, well, in Elite, pretty tame. You can easily fly up to them and get within like 10, 20, 30 kilometers without anything happening to your ship. Your ship will automatically stop you before you crash into the black hole, and there's not going to be any damages or any way you can destroy your ship. Now if you really want to stretch your legs, then I recommend you go and visit one of the multiple asteroid bases that's available in Elite. The stations you might be used to are, well, fully manufactured stations, but there are actually stations out there in deep space that are just basically built into carved out asteroids. The one I recommend you visit is called Darwin's Research Facility in California Sector BV-Y Space C7. This system is 1035.83 light years away from Sol, so it's quite a bit of a journey. So because this is located inside the California nebula, this is a good chance to go and visit an actual proper sized nebula, and the journey out there is going to be pretty fun. As you can see, every single jump how the nebula just get bigger and bigger and bigger in your windscreen. On your way out there, I do recommend you take a stop by the BD plus 30 space 623 system. Here you can visit the Little Blue. This is a heavy blue star inside what looks like a tiny nebula. It's probably a remnant, or supposed to be at least a remnant from a dead star. It has this really weird blue hue in the area, and it's just a really cool system to visit. So if you're heading out in this direction anyway, I'll recommend to take that as a little pit stop along the way. So those were the systems I would recommend you visit. If you feel like there's any of the systems I missed that you would recommend players to go and visit in or around the bubble, then post them in the comment section down below. Thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to give a like, subscribe, and until next time, I will see you guys in space.